Have you ever sent over a proposal and then immediately started obsessing about what the answer is going to be? One of my clients recently had this experience after finally having the courage to raise her prices significantly using our package matrix strategy. And she sent me an email and she said, freaking out as I just sent out my highest proposal ever. And by a lot, I am so anxious now, even though there's nothing else I can do. The emails are sent and the outcome is completely outside of my control now. Any tips for how to manage my nerves and stop myself from refreshing my inbox nonstop over the next days until I hear back? So, I'm Shannon Mattern. I am a pricing strategist for experienced service providers, consultants, and agencies. And this is Pricing Mindset Makeover, where we talk about pricing strategy and the psychology underneath so that you can make more from the incredible work that you are already doing. And so we don't just have our clients slap new prices onto their existing proposals and offers and just hope for the best. That is absolutely a recipe for sticker shock. We walk our clients through making very strategic shifts to their consultation call process, their proposal strategy, their offer making process to demonstrate every step of the way the value of the outcomes of working together and how they will be many, many, many times more than the price, so that by the time your prospective client ever hears a number coming out of your mouth, they're like, yeah, that number makes total sense. So on the consultation call, you're asking the right questions to find out the cost of the problem, the value of solving it, and how the solution will positively affect their future, and how not solving the problem could negatively affect it. And when you make the offer, the story that you're telling isn't about you or your company or how good you are at what you do and why you're worth the price. You're telling the story of how the service will solve their specific problem. You're doing the ROI math for them, whether that's literal math in terms of time and money or figurative math in terms of mental, physical, emotional health, happiness, capacity, or all of the above. And when you present your proposal, you're doing it with specific words in a specific order designed to speak to their investment mindset first, instead of just sending it over and hoping they read every word as intended. And you give them choices based on the pricing paradigms that I discussed in episode 4 of Pricing Mindset Makeover. And you anchor high and you let them decide. And it is a totally different sales experience than most people are used to on your end as the person delivering this sales experience and on the prospect side. It's a sales experience that does not kick up a bunch of objections that are just fear responses in disguise. But even knowing that you've taken all of the appropriate steps to pre-frame the value the first time you charge what you really could and should be charging, it can be totally nerve-wracking, which is what my client experienced. All of the subconscious reasons why you've kept your prices low in the first place bubble up to the surface, and your nervous system screams at you that you're doing something unsafe and it wants the relief of certainty one way or another. It wants an answer from the client, it just wants to know. So, in the space between sending the proposal and hearing back, you're obsessively checking your email and your mind is telling stories. But those stories are pure fiction. And one of the things that I always say is if you're going to tell stories, tell good ones. Why tell the story of the worst case scenario? At least balance it out for the best case scenario and don't torture yourself in the meantime. So, one very practical thing you can do, always put a deadline for a decision on your proposals so that there is a clear timeline for a decision. So, it gives you a reason to follow up. When you have a plan in place for the space in between, it helps calm your brain down. So, a week later, I heard back from my client with a note that said, and amazing news. She just accepted my proposal, my highest paying project by a lot. So, sometimes you just need to have the courage to make that first shift, manage your mind through it, and let your brain go a little bit wild, rein it back in. And I promise you, it gets easier. So, if you're an experienced service provider, coach, or consultant in any industry, and you know you could be charging a lot more, but you're just not sure how, your next step is to go to shannonmattern.com and grab my high converting proposal template and learn more about our end to end package matrix strategy. And that's also where you can book a discovery call with me to talk more about how I can help you with your pricing. So if you heard something valuable today, please take a second to swipe up on this episode and leave a rating and review. If you're on Spotify, tap those 5 stars right under our cover art. And from there, you can share the show and share it just with one friend or colleague who could use a pricing mindset makeover. So thank you so much for listening. And until next time, remember this: you are just one proposal away from the income and impact you deserve.